everybody, and welcome back. Today I have another Project Life video for you. As a reminder, I am doing Project Life monthly this year and not weekly. So this spread is going to be from the first couple weeks in March. The products that I will be mainly working with is the March Story by the Month kit from Ali Edwards, and also the March kit from Studio Calico. The colors in both of the kits matched up really well, so I was really excited that I could use both of them. Right now, I am opening up the Stories by the Month kit. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that and see which cards I want to use. I'm going to start out with the 4x6. This time around, I'm going to need a title card and then also a journaling card. And I really loved that card that I put down on the bottom and that says March Stories. It really matched up well with all of my pictures that I had. And it also gave me the opportunity to add more stories. And that is always a good thing when you can add some more stories. I found that doing it monthly, you have to prioritize what you want to make sure you document, and which is not a bad thing. So I've been really enjoying putting some more words down and using one of the 4x6 slots instead of adding another photo. Currently, I am going through all of my 3x4 cards. I started out with the Stories by the Month kit, and then I moved on to the Studio Calico kit. And what I'm looking for is coordinating colors and making sure the colors are well spread out. And this time around, I'm going to go with the colors of green and pinks and a little bit of yellow. I've got my cards narrowed down now, and I just need to make a decision on which ones I want to use where. I have that small 2x2 photo that I need a card for, and also I have a couple of journaling spots. I'm going to use that Grow, Grow, Grow card, and that one's from the Studio Calico kit, and I thought that would go really nicely with a couple of the photos that I have. The one next to it is of some flowers I bought from Trader Joe's. And then the one of the blooming tree. I took the kids to the park one afternoon and the park was filled with these beautiful blooming pink trees. So I decided to take a photo because all over the city are these beautiful trees that are blooming because it's springtime. Right now I'm trying to decide on which card I want to use underneath the 2x2 photo. Got a couple different options, different color options, but in the end I'm going to go with a pink one. Now that I've narrowed down all my cards, I am ready to pick out some of these chipboard pieces. Now honestly, I could have used every single one of these chipboard pieces. One of my favorite things to use is chipboard. I've gone ahead and placed one that says Rain Go Away on the picture of my kids playing outside in the rain, and then I have this triangle one that's gonna go on the picture of me pulling weeds outside in the front yard. I have to say that the colors in this kit and also in the chipboard set are one of my favorites, so it was really easy to go ahead and pick some out and use them. I've picked two more and I'm trying to decide on if I want to add any more to any of the photos or the cards. I'm going to take a look at the stamp set that came in the Stories by the Month kit, and I think I'm going to use a couple of them. You'll see me use the stamp set here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and take some of the backing off of these chipboard pieces. I like to do that way they're not so thick and bulky in my album. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on them and stick them down because I know I'm not going to move them around. At this stage of my spread, it's basically planning where things are gonna go and sticking stuff down. That way I can move on to putting some journaling on my cards and that sort of thing. Next up is going to be my title card. I've got this card that has little raindrops in it, and I'm going to stick it into the pocket because I'm not sure if I want to use black letters or white letters. So I'm going to stick them on the outside of the plastic and see which one I like better. So I'm going to put one black letter and then one white one. And I'm going to spell out the word March. I really liked this card. It says, "Rain, rain, go away, come again another day." And it was really rainy for about a week in March, and I was kind of over the rain, even though my kids love it and they always ask if it's going to rain that day. But I thought it was fitting for a title card. I've gone ahead and decided on the white letters, and I'm not going to spell out the whole word March. I'm just going to put M-A-R, and then underneath where it says rain, rain, go away, I've got a little banner that I've stuck down there, and then I'm trying to figure out what sort of embellishment I want to put onto the banner. And I think I figured it out, so I'm going to go ahead and take the card out of the pocket so that way I can go ahead and get everything stuck down and figure out what more embellishing I want to put on there. I've grabbed a couple sticker options, not knowing if I wanted a color or to stick with the gray one, but I'm going to go ahead and stick one of these color puffy stickers down there on the bottom. And then I also decide to grab these pink puffy stickers as well and put one on either side of the March or the M-A-R. So I'm going to go ahead and stick those down, and then my title card is done. Here's a closer look at the finished card for you. You can't really see the letters in the video, but you can see them in person. So let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the word yes. Now that stamp set is from the Studio Calico kit from March, and I thought that was an appropriate saying because the kids have found a bunch of dirt hills by our neighborhood, and they always ask if they could go out and take their bikes and ride around and play in the dirt every single day after school. So I'm going to put the word yes on the photo. Every time I use my Stays On ink pad, I am reminded that I need to get another one. So I've had to go ahead and stamp it twice, but I got the word on there. I'm coming back to the Story of the Month stamp now. I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and stamp it on some white cardstock and then cut it out and put it on the top of this journaling card. On the bottom of the card, I'm going to talk a little bit about how it's been raining a lot and how the kids just love to go out and play in the rain. I'm going to go ahead and just fussy cut it out and then go ahead and place it on the card. Now, I'm not sure if I want to add anything else to the card, but you'll see later that I end up putting a white star underneath. I'm going to go ahead and set it down on the card, and that's when I decide that I wanted to add something else to it because it was a little bit too plain. So I'm going to move on to this other stamp, the one that says Bloom. I thought that would be fun to add it onto this Grow card over here that I have. It's just going to be a filler card, and I'm going to stamp it underneath the chipboard piece. And then I also have a puffy sticker that's right above it. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp it now. This is the point where I decided to add some more embellishments to my cards and my photos. So I went through my stickers and grabbed some that might work well. And I'm going to place a couple of the photos into the pocket sleeves so that way I can place some embellishments around and see what I think. and that way when I'm completely happy and ready, I can put everything together. So I've grabbed some of these cork banner stickers. I'm going to put one that says family up above on the photo of all of us. Now this was when we went to visit my brother-in-law. Without going into any details, we went up to celebrate at the Air Force Base there, and they had his jet and had his name put on it. And so we got to take a photo, and that one was all of our family and some of my sister-in-law's side of her family as well. I also have a couple other photos from that weekend. There is one of the back of the plane that I took, and that's the 2x2 photo, and then one of my husband and his two brothers, and that one is one of the 3x4s. I've gone ahead and placed some stamping here and there, and now I'm ready to print out my journaling for those two cards. I have one that is going to talk about our weekend in Vegas, and then the one that's talking about the rain. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to put this white star that I got from the Studio Calico sale around Christmas time, I think. And I'm going to put the umbrella that I already cut out on top of the star, and then that card is done. And then I'm going to move on to the one that talks about Vegas. Before I do that, though, I'm going to add my date to that card that talks about the rain, and I'm going to use my rolling date stamp on there. I'm going to do some more stamping, and I've added some letters to spell out Vegas, and I'm going to put it on the side of this journaling card that actually talks about what we did and why we went to Vegas. You'll see that I'm trying it out on that scratch paper because I didn't know if I wanted to use the first stamp or try the second stamp so it looked a little bit less black. I did go ahead and use the second stamp without re-inking it. That way it wasn't as bold as it would have been. I only have a couple of cards left to finish up, but the major one is this 4x6 journaling card. So I've gone through my stars, and I want to put a star on the left-hand side of where it says March Stories. So I picked out a little gray one that I'm going to go with. And then I also have the chipboard piece on the bottom there. Now you'll see that I showed you that pink journaling card. For some reason, it didn't stick to the paper when I was putting it through the printer, and so it didn't print out correctly onto the card. So I'm going to go ahead and find a replacement card for that pink one, and so I've gone ahead and went through my cards again to find some that probably would work. And in the end, I'm going to go with this green flowered one. And then I'm going to send the green card through my printer again, and so I can finish up this card. All right, I've got my journaling on there. I am ready to figure out what I want to put on top of the journaling in between the photo and my journaling. I'm going to go with the word F-16 because that is the plane that my brother-in-law flies. I'm going to use these black letter stickers, and at first I was just going to use the letter F and then the numbers 16, but then I decide to add the pound sign or the number sign to add a hashtag, so it's going to read hashtag F16. There's one more photo that I want to talk about, and it's the one that I turned black and white of one of my daughters and my husband. And it just so happened that we were leaving town on my daughter's birthday, which was March 1st. And so he took her out to breakfast, which is usually his tradition. That's what he does. He likes to take the kids out to breakfast on their birthday. Okay, I want to go ahead and get this last card finished up and wrap up this spread. What I'm doing right now is I'm putting numbers on the photos that are going to correlate to the journaling card. Now the journaling card has numbers down there on the bottom that you can make a list of things that happened or memories that you want to remember. This was a great way for me to add a simple sentence to correlate to the photo that most of them I did not have room to add a whole journaling card for. So that way I can just add my sentence to the 4x6 card. Now I do have pictures for 1 through 4, and then 5 and 6 I don't have photos for, but those were things that happened in the month of March that I wanted to remember. So I did go ahead and get those down. You'll see here that I've got my journaling on there, and now I can go ahead and put the star on and that chipboard piece. And then my spread is all done. I want to take this time to thank you all for coming and watching, and for your subscriptions and your likes and your comments. I always appreciate each and every one of them. Here's one last look at that journaling card. I kept it pretty simple, but it's all done, and I want to say thank you again for coming, and I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned for some close-up photos at the end.